Here's a test to see if you're white. So we're going to look at 6 different images, and if most of them excite you, then you're 100% white. So here we go. So first up, we have unseasoned chicken. This is actually pretty nasty. I feel like the more north in Europe you go, the blander the chicken dishes become. I've been lucky not to be around it too much. Trader Joe's. I don't mind Trader Joe's. I hate to say it, but it's pretty overrated. I tried a few of their microwavable meals once that sounded good, and then they ended up not tasting the best. Dogs kissing your mouth. I mean, I'll die on this hill, but I'll risk the negligible bacteria transfer to give my dog a kiss. Like, literally, who cares? Just say you don't know what love is and move on. Disc golf. I mean, disc golf's pretty fun. I don't play it too much, actually. Hockey. Yeah, I guess hockey is pretty white. But there's some black players, though, right? Like PK Subban or whatever his name is. And then finally, Japan. I feel like this is a direct attack on the American weeb community. I mean, as an anime guy, I could see how people become obsessed over it. But yeah, let me know how you did. Let's see what you call these 6 things, and it's going to differ depending on where you live, but honestly, I don't care because there's only one answer anyways, so here we go. All right, so this one's obviously an apartment. I know the UK thinks it's a flat. I don't know who's calling it a unit, like it's a storage unit, but that's wrong. This, of course, is a bathroom. I know like fancy people call it a restroom. Obviously not a restroom. There's no resting going on here. Could be a washroom, but washroom's like a bit Amish. We have technology now. This is a cookie. Like, in what universe is this a biscuit? Like a KFC biscuit? And then Bicky, that's definitely Australian. But no, this is a cookie. This one's a pepper, but I could see it being called a bell pepper, just getting a bit more specific. Capsicum, I don't know if that's like a capsaicin derivative term, but that's obviously wrong. This is a rain boot. I've heard gum boots before in the UK. It just sounds pretty dumb. Wellies, that's definitely Australian, but that's a rain boot. And then last up, this of course is candy. Sweets isn't the worst thing in the world, but lollies is just completely wrong because there's no lollipops here. But what do you guys think? Only people who enjoy eating can tell the difference between these foods, so let's see how we do. So first up, which is brown sugar? I don't know, maybe the one that's more brown, so the one on the right? Okay, that works. The other one's raw sugar. Which is a tangerine? What's the alternative here? I guess the other one's an orange or a nectarine. I think the tangerine is the one on the right because it has a leaf. Okay. Which is a tortilla? These are literally identical. Brown spots and everything. Maybe the one on the right? No, that's a roti, okay. Whatever that is. Which is a shrimp? This has to be a joke. These are literally both shrimps. I don't even know what like another shrimp is called. Maybe the one on the left? Of course not. A prawn. Which is gelato? I know gelato's lighter. It's like maybe less creamy, I think. So I think the one on the left, it looks more airy. Nice. And then finally, which is a mushroom? These are like legitimately identical. I'm going to say the one on the right. Oh, let's go. The other one's toadstool, whatever that is. But how'd you guys do? This is called the etiquette test. So we're going to look at 5 different images. And if you have good etiquette, then you should be able to point out what's wrong with each of them. Otherwise, you might not have good manners. So here we go. This one's pretty easy. The guy should always be walking closest to the road when he's with a girl, just in case, I guess, a car comes to clip you or goes through a puddle. All right, so I used to work at a banquet hall, and I'm pretty sure the forks are supposed to go on the left, so then you can cut with your right hand, which is kind of discriminatory towards lefties, but who cares about them? This person's holding the wine glass wrong. You want to hold it by the stem to avoid heating it with your body heat. This guy's like taking up multiple seats. Also, she could be pregnant. If she's pregnant, you should always be giving up your seat, so that's a no-brainer. And then lastly, yeah, when you're with a group of people, especially at dinner, you should put your phones down. I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing that right now, actually. But how'd you do? Let's see how you like your meat cooked. So it's pretty simple. We're going to look at 5 different meats, and you just have to note how well you like each cooked. And if you're a vegan, this might not make a lot of sense to you, so you can keep scrolling. So here we go. So first up is steak. I'm personally a medium guy when it comes to steak. I think anything more than that and you're eating shoe leather. Rare's kind of nasty too. It should be medium rare or medium. Pork, I didn't even realize you could go below like medium well. That can't be good for you. This has got to be medium well or higher. I'm not a big ground beef guy. I think burgers I typically like a bit more cooked, so maybe a medium well here. Eggs, hard-boiled specifically, I'm probably at the 8 to 10 minute mark. I don't know why somebody would like voluntarily have a 1 to 2 minute boiled egg. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And then last up, chicken. So I'm a sashimi guy, so I'd probably go raw, but let me know what you guys think. Do you notice anything off about these photos? Look closely at each one and maybe you'll find out. What you're experiencing is something called the Thatcher effect, which demonstrates that our brain can't properly process a face that is upside down. In fact, a lot of you guys probably are convinced that there's absolutely nothing wrong with these images, but if you flip your device over, you'll quickly realize that there's certainly a few things wrong. Pretty cool, right? I'm about to trick your brain into seeing colors. So right now you'll notice that I'm in black and white. I actually made it a point to wear pretty bright colors, but you won't be able to see these yet. So to unlock these colors, you're going to want to stare at the black X on top of my hat for the next 15 seconds. What we're doing is creating a negative after image by overexposing your retinas to specific colors. As a result, your brain is going to invert the original colors when the video replays, and you should be able to see my full colors. So just keep staring, we're almost there. Good job. And cool, so you're about to see me in black and white again, so let me know if you see the colors and let me know what I'm wearing. This is called the Hygiene test, so we're going to look at 5 different situations and you just have to decide what you would do in each of them, and technically there's no right answers, but there also kind of are. So first up, do you wash your hands after using the restroom? If you don't wash your hands after using the restroom, you should probably stop watching this video and rethink your entire life. Like obviously, whether it's number 1 or number 2. How often do you wash your sheets? So I personally wash my sheets every 2 weeks. If you're using them more often, I could see it being weekly. It should never be more than like 2-3 weeks though. Would you let a dog lick your face? Obviously, yes. I think if you don't let a dog lick your face, it's because you've either had a traumatic experience with a dog or you weren't loved as a child. Would you use a public toilet without lining it first? Maybe if I'm squatting over it using the hover technique, but you always have to use protection. I'd never put raw cheek to plastic. And then lastly, would you eat food you dropped on the floor? If it's my floor and it's not like a liquid/plasma, maybe, still probably not, but I don't know, I'm kind of iffy on that. What do you guys think? If you're an observant person, you'll notice something wrong in this video. Now, I know there's not a lot going on and it looks fairly normal, but trust me, there's definitely something wrong here. It honestly should be pretty easy to see if you're looking in the right places. I thought I made it somewhat obvious. I'm actually curious how many people got it already. There's a nice couple walking by, but it has absolutely nothing to do with them or really anybody in this video. If you're truly observant though, you definitely would have noticed it at this point. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the video, so let me know if you found something wrong. Here are some people who lived a lot more recently than you think. So Rosa Parks died in 2005, which means she was alive for 9/11 and could have watched Shrek if she wanted to. Speaking of movies though, famed silent film actor Charlie Chaplin died in 1977, so he could have watched Star Wars or technically met 50 Cent. Also dying in the 70s in 1973 was Pablo Picasso, who many people mistakenly believe lived in the 1500s, but here's actually a colorized photo of him. Princess Diana and Mother Teresa died just days apart in 1997, and this one isn't about their deaths, but it's pretty crazy. Martin Luther King and Anne Frank were born in the same exact year in 1929. And as a bonus, woolly mammoths were still around the same time the Egyptians built the pyramids. I had to double check that one, but it's absolutely true. Pretty crazy, right? Here's a test to see if you're American. So we're going to look at a few different images, and if everything looks normal to you, then you're definitely from the United States. So here we go. So first we have the imperial system. I mean, I'm not here to argue. It's what I know and it works, and honestly, it is pretty superior. PB&J. Wait, does the rest of the world not know what this is? It's one of the greatest delicacies we have to offer. This looks like a receipt and the tax is circled. Yeah, I've heard that sales tax is a weird concept, how it's like not included in the display price, so I guess that is a bit sneaky. I'm by no means a big defender of sales tax, so I'll concede on that. I hate all tax, to be honest. This is actually the only correct way to write dates, and I'll defend this all the time. It should always be month, day, year. Free refills. Yeah, I can't believe this isn't the norm. This is like an awesome perk that's offered, so definitely love this. And then finally, okay, I don't love the cracks in the bathroom stalls. That's actually so weird, making direct eye contact while you're vulnerable and exposed, so you got us there, but let me know if you're American. Only a true Italian will be able to name these pastas from their shapes, so let's see how we do. My family's Italian, so I gotta get these right. This is penne. Penne's alright, pretty classic, nothing crazy. Fettuccine. Fettuccine's probably my favorite, with some good Alfredo sauce or something creamy on it. Oh, they're getting tricky on us, so that's risotto. I don't really classify risotto as a pasta. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is actually my favorite. Gnocchi. A lot of people also say this isn't a pasta because it's like potato based. Oh, this might be my favorite. This is tortellini. Again, like creamy. Put some cheese inside that. Ugh. This is either spaghetti or linguine. Linguine. Kind of hard to tell from that angle. That's farfalle, bow tie. They have this really good farfalle with chicken pasta from Cheesecake Factory. Ravioli, of course, classic. Looks like it's being handmade fresh right there. And then that will be rigatoni. All right, cool. How'd you guys do? Here's a test to see if you're a human. So we're going to look at a few AI-related questions, and if you really are a human, you should get most of them correctly. Otherwise, yeah. All right, so first up, which picture is real? Well, there's no way this is a guy, so you gotta rule out the top ones. I think the bottom left looks good to me. Oh wow, no way. Is she real? Well, they want me to say no, but she's literally real. This looks like an actual person. Okay, terrible start. Which facial hair is real? I think I'd go top left. I think he rocks the stash. Okay, beard too. I guess that makes sense. Is this cat real? Yeah, that looks real. Okay, I finally got one right. Prove my sentience. Did an AI paint this picture? Yeah, this is an AI for sure. It looks like they just copy-pasted a photo. Nice, now we're rolling. And then finally, is she real? I mean, probably not. I don't trust the AI. Oh wow, she is real. Okay, cool. Well, how'd you guys do? You may or may not be pronouncing these words correctly, so let's have a closer look. The first is quinoa. Quinoa, so the one on the right, not quinoa. Cool. Almond, so I guess the one on the right. Who says almond? You're from Boston or something. This is sorbet, so definitely the one on the left. Sorbet, that's just like reading it phonetically, I guess. Jewelry, so the one on the right. I always misspell jewelry. I don't even think I say it right. Herb and spices. I don't think I said the H, okay. I know I say this wrong. I say chipotle, which I don't even see here. Chipotle. I disagree with that. Asterisk. So the one on the left, asterisk. Asterisk. Okay, that's news to me. And then I say mischievous, but I like mischievous a bit better. All right, how'd you guys do? Here are some everyday objects that nobody knows the names of, so let's see how many we can get. So that's definitely a shuttlecock from badminton. Used to play this in gym class, so I'm pretty sure. Nice. Is that PG? That looks like something else. Oh, a beauty blender. Yeah, it's definitely what I was thinking of. Okay, cool. That's a pinwheel. You put it on your grass, and then the wind goes and blows in a circle. All right. That looks like the hat that Aladdin wears. Probably some Arabic headwear. Don't know the name of it. Bez. That's a pretty cool name. I do play chess. That's a rook. 100%. Yeah, that's a rook. Cool. Nobody actually, like, in their active vocabulary knows what this is. Maybe you looked it up recently. A carabiner. Okay. I guess that's good to know. And then this is a vuvuzela. I remember this from, like, the World Cup a long time ago. It was super annoying. But how'd you guys do? Let's see if we could guess these countries from their stereotypes. So here we go. Boastful, fat, okay. Once I saw fat, it's the US. 100%. Like 35% of us. Frog eaters, unshaved woman, wine. This is France, right? Cowards? I've never heard people call French people cowards. Lazy, unemployed. Oh, this is Mediterranean. Spain, okay. Ugly, tea, biscuits. Yeah, bad teeth. All right, sorry, Brits. That's the UK. Drunk, vodka, organized crime. This should be Russia, right? Could be a lot of Eastern Europe. Hot blondes, cold, Viking. This might be like Nordic. Norway, yeah. Hard workers, weird fetishes, fish, smart. No idea. Japan, okay. Hockey, maple syrup. Yeah, peaceful, desolate. That's Canada. All right, cool. How'd you guys do? Let's see if you could pass the handshake test. So we're going to look at 4 different situations, and you have to decide how to best greet the other person. So here we go. First, we have an interview. Yeah, this one's straightforward. I wouldn't get too cute here. Just go in for the classic handshake. And don't try any power moves. Just like look them in the eyes and pump it a few times, and I think you're set. Next, we have meeting your girlfriend's parents. Okay, so for the mom, I think it's advisable to forego the handshake and go in for a hug. And for the dad, I think you do a classic handshake with maybe an arm grab if he seems somewhat warm. A friend you haven't seen in a while. So here your best bet is, of course, going for a dap and like a bring it in hug. But don't be afraid to give like a full-on embrace if it's been a few months. Maybe even a kiss too if you're like Southern European. And then lastly, congratulating a coworker on a promotion. So I would personally go in for a hug because it's like a special moment, but sometimes the workplace can be like unbearably PC, so you can't risk your job. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, can I give you a hug? And then you make the call from there. But what do you guys think? Let's see how strong your willpower is. So for the next 20 seconds, all you have to do is not look at my shirt. So just try your best to resist the urge. I'll even throw up a 15-second video to help you pass the time. It's a pretty interesting clip, actually. It's way better than whatever's down here. So if you still haven't looked, I'm super proud of you because I know it's tough. I even put red text and everything. You're truly resilient and demonstrate amazing willpower. Okay, good job. We're almost there. And done. See? I mean, that wasn't too bad. You did it. Only 10% of people will be able to recognize these 8 figures, so let's see how you do. And you have to get them by name, so you can't just say, oh, this is the Prime Minister of the UK. You'd have to say this is Boris Johnson. Argentinian soccer player. Surprise, a lot of people don't know this. This is Messi. Again, like, I feel like people know this is the president of China, but they don't know his name, so Xi Jinping. Puerto Rican superstar, hip-hop, Bad Bunny. Okay, halfway there. This one I get why people don't know. Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Okay, this one is probably going to be the most known. This is Shakira. What is she, Colombian? Speaker of the House. Looks like a corpse. This is going to be Pelosi. And then last up, if you're on the internet, you'll know who this is. Swedish YouTuber PewDiePie. So how'd you guys do? If you have a dynamic brain, you should be able to see both images in these illusions. So first up would be an old man and the lady. That one may be a bit easy, so here's a few other ones. So now you have a duck and a rabbit. This one's probably one of the most notable illusions in history. Next up, we have a chicken and a woman's mouth. This one should be pretty simple. Okay, so now we have either a forward-looking face or a sideways looking to the right face. I think this one's pretty cool. And then last up, so everybody can obviously see the dog, but apparently there's an old man's face hidden within the dog's ear that I've still yet been able to see. So let me know if you saw everything. Here's a test to see if you have OCD. So we're going to look at 10 different images like the one above, and if you can instantly spot the odd ones out, then you may be obsessively compulsed to order. So here we go. You'll have about 3 seconds for each one. Some of them, of course, are going to be harder than others, but generally speaking, if you get like 90% on this, then you probably have some OCD tendencies. But then again, I mean, this is just like a random psychology test, so I would take it with a grain of salt. I'd also try to notice like how sensitive you are to the misplaced shapes, so maybe if something irks you a bit more, then you may be a little bit more sensitive to things. All right, so 2 more. And then final one. Let's see if we could guess the country from only the first 2 letters. So here we go. RU. I thought of Rutgers University, but that's Russia, 100%. Cool. And I think there's only one country that has these first 2 initials. So QA. I thought of QAnon, but it's Qatar, right? Or Qatar. Nice. Dirty mind. Snuck up on me again. That's Cuba. Cool. UK. So that's not the United Kingdom. Oh, Ukraine. Ukraine. Yeah. SR. What? SR. Oh, Sri Lanka. Okay. Romania. Definitely Romania. And then finally, Jojo. Jordan. Okay, cool. How'd you guys do? Only a true foodie is able to tell these foods apart, so let's see how we do. So first up, which is a banana? Banana's got to be the one on the left. I think the right's a plantain. Okay, nice. Which is jelly? Jelly's got to be the one on the left. The one on the right looks like some sort of grape spread. Jam. Okay, cool. Which is cilantro? I don't get why cilantro gets a bad rap. Everybody says it tastes like mint. I think it's amazing. But cilantro should be the one on the left. The one on the right, I don't know what that is. Parsley, okay. Which is a cucumber? Oh, wow. I never realized how similar it looks to whatever this gourd is. It definitely doesn't have that bulb, though. So the one on the left? Okay, zucchini, wow. Which is a peach? Definitely the one on the left. Which is lettuce? Okay, so we have bunnies, so I know what lettuce looks like. It's definitely the one on the right. Don't know what the left is. Cabbage, and then which is tofu? So I'm a meat guy, but I think it's the one on the left because you like chop it off. All right, cool. How'd you guys do? Let's see if we could guess these countries from their school lunch. So here we go. All right, so rice on the plate. This is definitely Asian, maybe Japan. Looks kind of clean. Cool. Probably like German. I see a sausage, maybe Polish, the pierogies. Ukraine, all right, kind of close. There's a brownie on the plate. This is probably the US, but it's not actually the US. Yeah, the US should have like pizza or something on the plate. The US lunches are disgusting. This is, I have no idea. Rice, so probably Asian. China, I doubt that people in China are eating that for lunch. This might be India. It looks like some garlic naan to the left. Okay, cool. I see beans. That's disgusting. I think that's British lunch. Let's say the UK, yeah. And then final one. What is that, a pig in a blanket? With like a graham cracker? Australia, okay, wow. How'd you guys do? Let's see how rare your mind is. So all you have to do is quickly say the first word that comes to your mind when you see these words, and then after each level, you'll be able to see how unique your answer is. So here we go. You really have to act quick, and you could pause it if you want to see the results for each one. I was pretty much in like the average tier, I'd say. Okay. Some of you guys are probably saying some crazy stuff. All right, candy, and then you have 2 more. Last one. All right, how'd you guys do? If you could read the word inscribed within this image, then you might have perfect color vision, but let's see it for the rest of the colors. And I put them in increasing difficulty, so it's only going to get harder. I think I tap out right around here. Yeah, so this is the last word I could read. After this, it's just a crapshoot. I'm not sure how anybody could even read this. Like, you have bionic eyes or something. Red is definitely tough. The last one's ridiculous. I could sort of see the gray one. Okay, so the turquoise one. And now we have 2 more. Here's navy blue. It's just a blur to me. And then yellow, which is literally impossible. But how'd you guys do? If you're over the age of 10, you should get every one of these general knowledge questions correct. So let's do this. And I made the quiz, so I know all the answers, so I'll just give some commentary. But planets in the solar system, of course, is 8. It used to be 9, ripped to Pluto. What's the highest mountain in the world? So that's going to be Mount Everest. Mauna Kea in Hawaii is actually taller, but elevation-wise is technically lower. Bones in the body, 206. Babies have like 300, I think. The largest country by area in the world is Russia, and then by population, it would be China, although India is really close too. The longest river, and this is close, it's the Nile, and then the Amazon is the largest by volume. The first man on the moon, I feel like most people know this. This is going to be Neil Armstrong. The most popular sport in the world by participation and fan is, of course, football or soccer. I think 2 billion fans, and then the largest animal in the world is the blue whale. So how'd you guys do? If you're over the age of 11, you should get every one of these general knowledge questions correct. So let's do this. And since I made the quiz, I know all the answers, so I'll just give some commentary. So the largest organ in the body is the skin. Second largest is the liver. First president of the United States is also the only president without a political party, George Washington, although some people say he was a Federalist. How many days in a leap year? Can't forget about February 29th, so that's 366. Which planet is closest to the sun? So that's going to be Mercury, although that's not the hottest. That goes to Venus. How many colors are in a rainbow? If you remember Roy G. Biv, you would know that this is 7. How many legs does a spider have? So a spider is an arachnid, as are scorpions, mites, and ticks, and they all have 8. Capital of the United States. Kind of just have to know this one. Hopefully you didn't say New York or LA because it's Washington, D.C. And then the fastest land animal, topping at 75 miles per hour, is the cheetah. So how'd you guys do? If you're over the age of 12, you should get every one of these general knowledge questions correct. So let's do this. And since I made the quiz, I know the answers, so I'll just give some commentary. So covering 30% of Earth is the Pacific Ocean, which is the largest. The 3 primary colors, I mean, assuming you went to kindergarten, you should know it's red, blue, and yellow. How many milliliters in a liter? If you're American, maybe it's somewhat tough, otherwise straightforward at 1,000. The largest continent on Earth, covering 17 million square miles, is Asia, or 44 million square kilometers. The most eaten food in the world, a staple of the Asian cuisine, is rice. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Also responsible for the Vitruvian Man and the Last Supper is Da Vinci. The smallest country in the world, about 100 acres and less than 1,000 people, is Vatican City. And then finally, what country is Mount Everest in? If you say Nepal or China, you would be correct. So how'd you guys do? If you're over the age of 13, you should get every one of these general knowledge questions correct. So let's do this. And I'll just give some commentary. So the largest planet in our solar system at 23.6 billion square miles is Jupiter. Second is Saturn. The most spoken language in the world, I wouldn't overthink this. The answer is going to be English. Mandarin's actually second, although it has the most native speakers. The largest bird on Earth is going to be the common ostrich, which also can't fly. How many teeth does a healthy human adult have? That, of course, is 32. The largest desert on Earth, so it's not actually the Sahara, it's the Antarctic desert, 5.5 million square miles. What direction does the sun rise? That, of course, is in the east. It sets in the west. The largest democracy in the world is not actually the United States, it's in India. And then how many months have 28 days? If you said February, you would be kind of correct, but the answer really is all of them. Kind of a trick question, but how'd you guys do?